Welcome to History at Home, bringing the museum to you. I'm Sarah Byers. Each year on the third Saturday of July, the binational Rainbow Bridge in Niagara Falls is host to the border crossing celebration of the Indian Defense League of America. People of all Indigenous nations come together to walk the bridge and celebrate Indigenous culture. The occasion acts to educate about Indigenous culture and rights and to ensure that free passage between Canada and the United States is maintained for Indigenous peoples. Since European colonization began in North America, Indigenous peoples and newcomers worked to establish a relationship of mutual respect. Treaties were one way that agreements were achieved and maintained. When Europeans began to establish new borders and political systems, it became important for Indigenous nations to maintain original territories and systems that had been developed over thousands of years. Borders disregarding original territories posed risks, such as separation of nations and families, restricted trade, access to medicines, and restricted cultural practices. New agreements regarding border rights were included in subsequent treaties. At the end of the Revolutionary War, the Jay Treaty of 1794 stated, "It is agreed and it shall at all times be free to His Majesty's subjects and to the citizens of the United States, and also to the Indians dwelling on either side of the said boundary line, freely to pass and repass by land or inland navigation into the respective territories and countries of the two parties on the continent of America, and to navigate all the lakes, rivers, and waters thereof, and freely to carry on trade and commerce with each other." The agreement was reaffirmed after the War of 1812 in the 1814 Treaty of Ghent. Despite this, rights over time were challenged, and the practice of agreements eroded. Border crossing became a concern for the Haudenosaunee people, whose traditional territory lay in the Great Lakes region and risked being divided by the Niagara River Canada-US border. In 1925, Descahe Levi General, an advocate for Indigenous rights and the Haudenosaunee people, was denied passage to his home and medicines following an attempt to re-establish free border crossing and Indigenous sovereignty at the League of Nations, the precursor to the United Nations. He passed away, leaving a message to always fight for the line. The urgency of this message was taken up by a friend and fellow advocate, Chief Clinton Rickard, who established the Indian Defense League the following year. The goal of the IDLA was to promote unrestricted travel across the international border between the United States and Canada. Once the same was achieved, the IDLA carried on the pursuit of Indigenous sovereignty and education on the values of Indigenous culture. The first border crossing celebration occurred on July 14, 1928. The important community event continues each year, passing alternately from Canada to US and US to Canada. A statue to Chief Clinton Rickard stands in Niagara Falls State Park. Thank you for joining this History at Home.